Welcome back to Clean Tech, home of the daily technology reviews. And today we will be reviewing one of the biggest pieces of news in technology this week. We'll be talking about exactly what happened and what this means. And let's go ahead and dive into it. Today's episode is brought to you by Clean Router, but more on them later. So, as many of you guys know, Amazon Web Services was down yesterday. However, this did not affect me personally. There was a ton that did affect, and we're going to go ahead and get into that. So for those of you who don't know, Amazon Web Service is the largest cloud computing service provider in the United States. And the outage of much of its network lasted most of the day and disrupting several tech giant services, as well as many of its corporate customers, websites, and apps. So if you go here, there's a website called Down Detector, and you can kind of see which websites had the biggest downtime and when they're down. So Twitter is currently seeing a little bit of an outage, but I don't believe that has anything to do with AWS. But as you can see, there were, Alexa was largely impacted yesterday by part of the downage of AWS. And it was a pretty big deal because there was a lot of people, as we'll read in the article, that weren't able to do a lot of their daily routine tasks. And the article talks a lot about how we're so dependent on technology and having access to the internet. And one of the other ones that was largely impacted was Netflix was impacted quite a bit. And there was a couple of others. So it was just a really big deal that so many of these companies were affected by AWS going down. It just kind of begs the question is how much dependency is too much? So this is probably, I like this paragraph a lot. It says, for many consumers, it was an awakening to how many internet-enabled devices they now have in their homes, and how much even some of their most basic daily needs depend on a connection to the cloud. This one was funny. It says, Steve Peters of Los Angeles couldn't tell his Roomba robot vacuum to clean up the blueberry muffin crumbs that landed on his kitchen floor during breakfast. He relies on an app on his phone to beckon the machine. I had to resort to getting a broom and dustpan, said Mr. Peters, a 6-year-old game experience designer. It was crazy. And there was a couple of other things that was like the Amazon Alexa didn't work. I didn't realize how much I talked to it. Or the radio didn't turn on like it was supposed to in the morning. And there was also one that was talking about how they had to manually feed their cats because they had as you can see in the picture right here, they have a cat dispenser that automatically will feed their cats at a certain time of the day. And so it was just super interesting for people to realize how many people depend on the internet to do their daily tasks. So that was just something that was there was a lot of impact about that yesterday, and I think a lot of people realized that we do depend on it a lot, but I don't believe anybody's going to change anything because of it anytime soon. If anything, our dependency is going up more. So we just have to hope that things like that doesn't happen again. So going off of the cool technology, there is something regarding Clean Router that is really cool because, like I said, we all depend on the internet. And there's so many things on the internet that are harmful to our friends and family members that we don't necessarily want in our home. Us here at CleanTech, we've developed a router that you install once into your home, and it blankets your entire house in Wi-Fi. Let me go ahead and show you. Feature. It blankets your entire house in Wi-Fi like you see here. So here's the internet. You install the router, and it filters all the devices that connect to the internet so that nothing harmful can enter your home. It's easy, simple to use, doesn't slow down your internet. 7 layers of internet filtering. Time restrictions, that's a lot of parents really like that, where if your son is up here and you don't want him on the internet past 9 o'clock, you can set a setting from your phone to tell the router to turn your kid's internet off at the desired time. You also get emailed reports, and you can also block keywords. So if you don't want your kids searching for cats, or if you don't want your kids wasting time by searching for, I don't know, silly things like Flappy Bird, you can block whatever you want. It's all under your control, and it's completely customizable. So this is something that has benefited hundreds to thousands of families across the entire country, and we highly recommend it. So go ahead and check out cleanouter.com to learn more, and we are also doing a special sale. So check down in the comments to get the promo code, and that way you can get your Clean Outer at a special discount. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and like always, we'll see you next time. Happy tech reviews.